and there is no part of our team that has worked harder than Bill Bean and his staff, including Kathy Fitzgerald. Kathy, would you wave to everybody? She is kind of the executive assistant of the State Committee offices here in Fort Wayne. But I would like to introduce you now to a man who has literally spent 24/7 working on the details of the convention. Since, I think, Tim, wasn't it 1 year ago this month that we met to talk, Bruce Dye,
just about.
Bill Bean? Yes, just about a year ago when we had this dream. And now, Bill, I hope you don't think it turned into a nightmare. That's all I can say. But here is Bill Bean.
I told Chairman Barry just before we started that you got to be careful what you ask for, because we got it. And when Steve said that this is historical, for your information, this will be the first time in the state's history that the convention has not been in Indianapolis. So we have a chance to really set some standards here for the rest of the state in the future if they want a chance to host this convention. When I went down and spoke to the state Central Committee to try to convince them, and this is actually before Tim became chairman, that they could rely on Fort Wayne to deliver a convention unlike anything that had ever been seen before. I didn't quite know what I was getting myself into, because when you have to deal with a 92 county chairman and you have to deal with all the concerns of 17 or 1,800 delegates and all the elected officials and everyone else that's involved, it's quite an undertaking. But I think that we've pulled together a great team, a lot of them here behind me, from the embassy, from the Fort Wayne Visitors Convention, from Greater Fort Wayne. It's been a pleasure to work with them. And I think that they, again, have put together an outstanding package. This just isn't about the delegates showing up, doing their vote, and leaving. We wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to really showcase the community. So there's a lot of activities on here that in the past never existed before. To the best of my knowledge, national speakers weren't brought in. Basically, after the delegates showed up, signed up, got their credentials, that was it. You're on your own. Go to a restaurant, go to the hotel, go back home. There was no planned event. The next day, Saturday, you show up in the morning, and you go through the process again. You go in and vote, and everybody went home. Well, that's not what we set up this time. Not only are we bringing in top-notch national figures as far as the Republican Party is concerned, we've also got an event-filled schedule for the delegates, and we're encouraging the delegates to bring their immediate families with them. We're trying to make this very family-friendly. After, as Steve said, after the official business is done, which we anticipate about 5:30 in the evening, we're going to start the speakers. And then about 7:30, we're going to adjourn across the street to Parkview Field. There we have 6 or 7 local restaurants that are participating in what we're calling the Taste of Fort Wayne. And we've asked them to provide food for up to 1,400 people. Okay. And we also have tried to keep everything there. Where in the past, different organizations that might want to take advantage of the opportunity of having all the state delegates there and elected officials, and so they'd rent a hospitality suite in this hotel and one in this hotel. What we're doing this time is we're trying to keep everything there at Parkview Field. So we've taken the suites and stuff like that, and we're going to be having those hospitality suites there as well. We also have 4 bands, the names of which are included in the press release, that are going to be there continuously alternating. Won't even have a gap. We've got 2 stages set up, so it'll basically be one to the other. And even footing the bill to have fireworks that night to top off the first day of the convention. Next morning, we're going to have breakfast for all. We have a buffet breakfast for all the delegates and their immediate family. We're also planning on having a sit-down breakfast for all of the elected officials at a certain level, as well as the different state officials. After we're going to start about 12 o'clock, which hopefully that'll be about the end of it. We're going to be providing half an hour service from the Grand Wayne Center with a bus to take the delegates and their immediate families around Fort Wayne. And we're going to offer drop-off services to the Botanical Gardens, Science Central, Glenbrook Mall, Fort Wayne Children's Museum, and who am I missing? The zoo. the zoo, the most important of all, the zoo. We're also arranging for a walking tour. We also have arranged for the courthouse to be open for people to see it. So we're really going to try to take advantage of the opportunity of having people from around the state here to showcase Fort Wayne, get them going back home talking about it. Maybe they'll come back with their families. That night, I can't announce now because we don't have the official signed contract, but we will be bringing in a quality, well-known name entertainment for the Embassy Theater, which we have reserved that evening for just the delegates, their immediate families, and the invitees. We plan on having about 1,500 to 2,000 people there, so that will be, again, another great event. So with that, I will turn it back to you.